Hey guys, it's Kay from KS Anonymous, and I am back today with another episode of r/Tales from Retail. For reference, I work in a young adult geared clothing store. It's in the top 5 largest stores of this chain in the southern half of the US. It's in a mall with a horrible amount of shoplifting. We often joke that we know our shoplifter because they are the regulars. I'm normally the visual assistant manager, so I set up the store, front everything, dress the mannequins, things like that. We recently had a huge exodus of sales associates, so I've been working overtime to cover some of those shifts. The other day, I had something happen that made me question my sanity until they asked for a manager. I was running a register and a customer came up. We'll call her Karen. Cass, me is me, Karen is give me your money lady, and GM is the GM. I give the opening saying, and I notice she has no clothing in hand to buy. Oh, is everything alright, ma'am? So, I dropped a $20 bill somewhere in your store. You're going to help me find it. At first I blinked, but called up my GM, who agreed that I could walk the lady back through her own steps to see if by magic a $20 bill would still be lying on the floor and no one had thanked God for the miracle of finding a dropped 20 and took it. After a good 15 minutes of circling the store and the fixtures, I met up with Karen and explained that someone could have pocketed the $20 instead of turning it into us, and that's where things went south. What do you mean, pocketed it? Some people don't put a lost and found value on physical bills or change, ma'am. I can try to look at the cameras if you like. Ugh, no. I don't have an hour for you to mess around on a camera. Just go back to the register and give me a 20. Excuse me? You heard me. Go give me a 20 since your staff can't notice the 20 on the ground. Ma'am, we can't do that. Well, I bet if I talked to that manager, I would get it. I shrugged at her and lead her back to the GM, who walked her away from the registers to talk while I took back over. After a while, I heard Karen all but screaming obscenities, and my GM kicked her out of the store in response. Another snip of my faith in humanity died as Karen yelled one final thing. They're all thieves here! They steal bills from the floor! So, quick question, who wants to bet that there never was a $20 bill that Karen dropped? Second post, another tale from my retail days. Let me set the scene. For this shift, I was working in a women's clothing store, manning the shoe department. Well, I say department, it was a small shop, so more like half a small wall display of shoes. It's your typical weekend shift, there's some banter with the staff, pleasant customers, and the whole shift went well. One customer stuck out though, and is one of my favorite memories. This older lady comes in and starts browsing the shoe collection. After a few minutes, I ask if she's finding everything okay, and say if she'd like to try anything on to let me know. She tells me that she's after some sandals for a holiday. Oh ace, I ask where she's going, anywhere nice, you know, the standard customer service chat, hoping to maybe sell a few more things. I've forgotten where she said she was going, but I do remember her reaction to trying on the sandals, or at least her reaction to sitting down to try them on. She flinched and looked to be in some discomfort. I asked if everything was alright, I'm concerned, I'm invested, I want this lady to buy her sandals and get to her holiday. Anyway, she tells me, quite blasé, that no, there's nothing wrong. She's just flinching a bit from her bikini wax. And that maybe she should have left more time between getting the wax and her spray tan. I was not expecting that. I 100% was not expecting that. I thought that she was going to say bad hip or arthritis. She bought the sandals though, and I hope she had a great time on holiday. Because hey, she put a lot of prep work in. I just love this. This lady just like, yeah, no. Here's some overshare that nobody needed, but it was great. In advance, apologies about the length of this. So for context, I work in a concession stand in a larger store in central London, and for various reasons, as sales assistants, we are not allowed to sit down while we're on the shop floor. So this story happened a couple days ago. I was doing a long shift, so I had been in since 7 and wasn't leaving until 4. I spent most of the morning unpacking our delivery and going back and forth between our stockroom and the shop floor. So it's getting towards the end of my shift and my feet are a bit sore, so I go behind our till bench and squat down to have a drink, which is the most relief we can get. Now our tills are open-ended, so customers can see me taking a tiny break. I'm just about to get up when I hear this woman say, "Excuse me." M is me, A is annoying woman. Excuse me, but I have been standing here for 15 minutes and no one has come over to help. Would you please get up and do your job? Now, there were 4 other people on our shop floor, and it was fairly quiet, so I doubted this was true, but I was adamant that I was going to be polite, etc. Of course, ma'am, I'm so sorry about the wait. What can I help you with today? She then proceeds to rattle off a list of items from candles and soaps to bed linen. I manage to catch most of what she wants and start to ask her the standard questions. So, what kind of scents are you looking for the candles? I don't know. Nice ones. Well, we have about 15 cents at the moment. Would you like to try some to see if you like the scent? No. Why would I want to do that? Just give me everything in a good scent. So I pick out our most popular and put it behind the counter, and show her some of the other things, and she picks out towels, baskets, some clothes, and some dinnerware. The last thing she wanted was bed linen, which is slightly detached from the rest of our section. I will say that by this point I have asked a couple of the people working to help me by wrapping and packing her items. Ma'am, would you mind following me over to the bed linen area so you can choose exactly what you want? Fine. So we have a great range at the moment. Were you looking for a higher or lower thread count? Higher, of course. Who would even buy the lower thread counts? Poor people, I guess? No, I'm a bit shocked at this, but I show her what she wants and she picks out our most expensive one. That's a great choice. I really like the design here. Of course it is. I picked it. Now, due to our limited floor space at the moment, we don't keep any of the largest size of bed linen on our shop floor, so I will pass you over to my colleague for anything else that you need while I run and grab anything you need from the stockroom. I will probably be about 10 minutes. Is that okay? Fine, I guess, but please be quick. I'm quite important, you know. I rush to our stockroom and grab everything I need. It's quite a lot, so I use a wheeled basket to take everything back to the shop floor. When I get back, I find my customer yelling at my manager about the appalling service and how she's been mistreated and everyone has been ignoring her and not being helpful at all. I approach carefully, apologize of the wait, and put her things on the till alongside the rest of her things. Well, it took you long enough. Oh, and you brought a trolley as well. Was it too much for you to carry? Honestly, the absolute laziness of this generation astounds me. I've been waiting for you for nearly half an hour. She hadn't. I'd been gone maybe 7 minutes. This is appalling customer service. She then turns to my manager. I would like this girl fired. She is clearly incompetent at her job. Ma'am, I am incredibly sorry for anything that has happened to you. Don't be freaking sorry. Fire her. She does not hold up the reputation of the store and does not deserve to work here. At this point, my close work friend has called security, and the woman goes into overload. Why is she on the phone? Pointing at my friend. That is incredibly rude to be on the phone when a customer is talking to you. She then starts snapping her fingers to get my friend's attention. Excuse me, can you please pay attention? I am talking here. Look at all of this. It's a disgrace. These aren't the products I asked for. They were. And this lady here didn't even ask me what scented candles I wanted. She just assumed. She was also drinking on the job. I saw her put a bottle of clear liquid in that cupboard. Shocker, it was water. That was probably vodka. She seems like a drunk. I will state here that I'm 18 and most definitely am not a drunk. And was sitting down. She clearly doesn't care about her job, so she should be fired. At this point, security showed up and asked her to follow them. No, I am not following anyone until this girl is fired. Fire her. She is a crappy person and disrespected me. At this point, security says she will need to come with them or the police will be called. Fine, but I hope you lose your job and end up like the homeless wretch you deserve to be. I don't know what happened to her, but my manager apologized to me and reassured me that she knew I did everything for the customer that I was supposed to do and then told me to go home early. Now, honestly, I don't know how true this story is just because I am not familiar with people being that openly awful. However, I have run into some really strange people who do feel very self-important. It feels a little bit manufactured, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Had someone try to return underwear to my store today. We don't even sell underwear, but I have to go through the "we cannot return undergarments" spiel first regardless. This woman who doesn't look a day over 40 comes in with a ratty looking plastic bag from another store and sets it on the return counter. I open the bag and almost recoil. It's a dirty pair of underwear. I immediately close and tie the bag and say apologetically, "Sorry, we don't return undergarments. They are sold as a final sale." The woman argues firstly that they were only just opened and looked at, and that they're absolutely unworn and not dirty. I explain in the gentlest way possible that there's definitely a brownish reddish stain on them, and she gets frustrated and says, "It's wine! I accidentally spilled wine on them when I was taking them out to look at them. Just return them, please. It's within the time frame." I utterly refuse and explain that in addition to not even selling underwear at the store, we certainly won't take underwear with mystery stains back. She then says, "It's just wine, smell it," and starts opening the bag, presumably to allow me to smell her dirty underwear. I finally just interrupt her, rude I know, and tell her no, and that she wasn't returning them to a store they weren't even from. She asked to talk to a manager, but I didn't see how it went since I didn't want to risk being around if sometime that underwear made it out of the bag. Really nasty stuff. All I have to say to that is, ew! That's disgusting. I don't think it was wine. And I'm just, why? Anyway, that disgusting story is actually going to end today's video. I hope that you did enjoy it. It's a bit shorter than usual. I'm trying something new, so let me know this week what you think of what I'm trying out. And if you have any stories that you'd like to share with me, go ahead and send them to ksanonymous@gmail.com for consideration to be possibly used in a video. You guys are awesome. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a like, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye!